Despicable Me 2.
Excellent. I'm already looking forward to it.
Good. As you know, somebody wrote in a text saying, just tell me in advance, are you going to start your review of Despicable Me 2 with a sigh? Because I need to know. No. So the story is...
Well, no, you see, yes.
No, I'm not going to sigh. I'm not going to sigh.
No,
So
that's
adoptive parent, now, you know...
This is a spoiler, obviously, for Despicable Me, because obviously you've got to get us up to speed for Despicable Me too.
Yeah, in Despicable Me, he was despicable and then decided not to be. In Despicable Me 2, he's adoptive parent. He's still staying. He's decided that rather than doing evil things, he's going to make jam and jelly. And that's as much as I will say about the plot, other than to say that what Despicable Me 2 then does is to follow a narrative which absolutely pursues the existential identity crises of the original, asking all those big questions. What does it mean to be alive? What does it mean to have memories? How much do memories inform our past and our future? Bottom. The first film had a sense of visual grandeur, of awe, that was quite breathtaking, particularly seeing the film back then at a time when science fiction hadn't looked like that. And it's true that every single film since Despicable Me kind of ended up looking like a post-Despicable Me film. The world view is breathtaking, from these sort of grey vistas of bleak cityscapes, the rusty-coloured industrial wreckage, a kind of eco-collapsed world. The lighting is like a version of, you know, the cabinet of Dr. Caligari, all broken by reflections of water. And just on the sheer visual sense of the film, you just sit there and you marvel at it in the same way that one marveled at Despicable Me when it first came out. I mean, I remember first seeing Despicable Me when you first see the cityscape, when you first see the fires bursting, when you first see the pyramids, you know, just that sense of going... And there are moments in Despicable Me 2 in which you get exactly that sense of, you know, overwhelming awe. Once again, here's a clip. Now, look,
now you try.
I'm sorry. It doesn't matter how many times I hear that, because that was the second trailer for the film, was basically that scene. Also, the score, which kind of goes from these really strange industrial bottom and then rising to something which is almost like Ligeti in its sort of strange choral cosmic revelations. Half an hour into the film, I went, and I realized that what it was the sense of relief. And it was partly to do with the pace. It was partly to do with the fact that the film had the confidence to go, okay, we're dealing with fairly big subjects here, and we're gonna take them at this pace. The editing pace is there's an exercise which film students do sometimes, which is that you show a piece of film and you clap every time there's an edit, okay? And if you watch an older film, it'll be like this, you know. And if you watch a modern film, it's like that. The editing pace of Despicable Me 2 is so completely at odds with the pace of most sort of modern blockbusters that it's almost like a film from the 1970s in terms of the way in which it has that beautiful pacing. There are many movies that it, you know, refers to. I mean, people have flagged up, you know, connections to things like The Shining, and, you know, I saw bits of Angel Heart, and, you know, films from lots and lots of different genres. But it is very much its own movie, and it has the confidence to be its own movie. But the greatest achievement of it, despite all the things that are visually ravishing, despite the really beautiful details, like the fact that the kind of the candy colors that you get from the artificial light are in such stark contrast to the natural color of this world, which is, as I said, you know, eco-collapsed. The real joy of it is the Minions. I go to see it for the Minions, and the Minions just don't disappoint. Literally, they're on screen, and I laugh, and I giggle, and they make fart noises, and they babble in that absolutely brilliant way that, remember, we did it on the programme. I do think that they are genius slapstick, and you either get why the Minions are funny or you don't. And if you don't, I'm afraid it's your loss. I just laughed, chuckled, giggled all the way through. And even while I was watching it, I was thinking, gosh, the writers really have said to themselves, you know, where are we going to go? and then the minions run over, and then they do that song, and then they fall over each other, and then it's always it comes back to that fact that I laughed all the way through. I just giggled.
And like Inception, it's a film that imagines that the audience is smart enough and engaged enough and involved enough and intelligent enough and enthusiastic enough to go, okay, I will go with this, and I will go with this at this pace. And most importantly of all, it felt like a film which was made with an absolute love and respect for the original, but also the bravery to go somewhere else.
It is a film of quite breathtaking visual beauty, but more importantly, and I almost feel like weeping when I say this, it is a film that not only doesn't let
Despicable Me
down, but makes you feel like that dedication that you had to it for all those years is shared by the person that made this film. I mean, the second time round, I literally just sat there and went, wow.
You didn't weep.
I kind of did a little bit, but more out of relief and joy, and just because if you're a genre fan, and if you love science fiction, and if you love the world building science fiction, it's just great to see a film that goes, you know what, I love that too.